Well, of course, if something doesn't fit, there's always a reason why. But why did it take me 20 minutes to find out? Hiya, I'm just in the other workshop at the moment, which is not a workshop really, it's a storage room. But I've had 5 TVs delivered today, and this was a big one. This is a 58-inch Vestel Toshiba. And I've been told the customer's only getting a white screen. So I switch it on, and that's as far as I've got at the moment. But I'm not getting a white screen, I'm getting half a white screen. And then what looks like half a normal screen, but there's no image on that whatsoever. I have already had a play and a look with everything on here, and everything seems to be in its place. So we may have a screen fault here, but the customer told me something very interesting which has changed my diagnosis on this one. I originally thought this is a screen issue. Why we're only getting half a white screen, I don't know. The customer swear blinds that it was a full white screen. So whether something's happened in transit, nobody really knows. But we are only getting half a white screen. This was on a wall bracket, on the wall. But the customer wanted to put it back on his stand. So the customer did put the stand back on, but then what he did was not have the correct screws. And so the screw holes actually, they look like they're here for the stand, but they're not. The screw holes, and I'll just put that on, you can see the screw holes, those 4 screw holes there. If you long screw that, it goes there. If you long screw that, you will have a problem. So let's just rest it in place where it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be there. So if you're putting a screw there or a screw there, there's going to be a problem. And if you look exactly where that screw is going to be on this side, so if we put it here, if you look exactly where that screw is going to be, can you see just next to the red felt tip there, which is there, you can see, and I'll zoom in for you, a little 3-pin IC just there, that one, which has got a bit taken off it. There is something not quite right. So this chip has been shorted out while the TV's on. Now, normally it's just going to be a TCON replacement, but I'm a little bit concerned now if that's shorted out while the screen was on. Has that caused any issues? The only thing I can do, I will have a TCON for this because it's a 58, and this is not a HK, but it will take the same TCON as the 58 HKs. The HKs did have a massive screen problem. This is not a HK. I'll show you the model number a bit later on. I don't know why we're only getting half a screen, but it's all connected to the TCON. You can see there is an image on this, but nothing much. For the moment, I'm just going to put in another TCON and see what happens. But unfortunately, there could be a good chance that if this was long screwed, again, just there, while the set was on, it could have sent a short to the signal here, causing a problem. Let's stick another TCON in and see if that changes anything. I'm not really that hopeful for this one now. what could have been and should have been just a standard TCON swap. Maybe something a bit more damaging now. Again, I don't know how much you can see, but that's exactly... Is it that side? I can't see with my naked eyes. Yes, I think it's that one that's got the chip that's damaged. Yeah. Anyway. The good thing about being here, I only have to put my head round the corner to get some spare parts. So let's see if this one does it. I could have replaced that IC on the TCON. That's getting in my way. But I don't think that's the only fault. Absolutely no room to play with on this. Let me put some screws in first. How is that just so impossible to get in? Just an extra millimetre would help. Damn, this is really frustrating. Okay, that's not right. It can't be right. I can't get these to go in at all. They're going in very poorly. That's not right. That's better. But that's not behind. You've got to get behind. I'm just so frustrated with that. There's no reason why that should be so poor. I'm not convinced it's in 100%. Just in case I've edited that down to make myself look good, I'll mention it now that took blooming ages to get in. Blooming ages. That must have taken a good 5 minutes to put that in. I don't know why, it just took far too flipping long. Far too flipping long. Let's switch it on, see what it does. Do I get a Toshiba logo? You get no logo, you get nothing, which means that TCON is not in. Or the cables are not in. Hell's bells. Let's take it out the screen and put it in here and see if that helps. It doesn't. Not in. It is not in. I mean, these can be awkward to get in, but not this awkward. They go in the screen just fine. Well, oh, I can't get this bloody camera to level up. Level up, you shit. Right. I'm not happy the way these corners are in, but I'm be damned if I can get it any better than that. Struggling. That is in. That is in. I don't know. Switching on again. There is something not right with this setup. I don't know what it is, but there's something not right. And again, I'm getting no picture. We should have absolutely nothing. We should have the Toshiba splash screen. These aren't going in. These just aren't going in right. They just aren't. Let me try it with half a screen. Nothing. Again, nothing. Well, for the next 3 minutes here, I continue to fiddle around and faff and try and get the LVDS cables in. They're going in, but they're not going in comfortably. There is a reason for that. Well, even though this TCON is the right number, it's not. These are just not happy going in. And looking at the other one, there is a difference. There is a difference, and I'll show you what the difference is. In this one, can you see those little silver things? Little silver grips either side of the socket. And I'll take this out to show you. These should just, I mean, look how easy that was. Sorry, you probably didn't see, but look how easy this goes in. That is great. It goes in fine. This one here, it doesn't have, I hope you can see, but it doesn't have those silver grips either side. This is not the right TCON for this. It isn't. And that's the only one that I've got. But you can tell if I put both sockets side by side, can you tell how fatter that socket is? Look at the white plastic bit at the back. Look how fatter it is. Everything else is exactly the same. This says, the one that's come out says version 0, but this one is version 2. So I can only imagine that that is the difference. And that's why the socket is not going in. That's why I struggled so much. So I'm going to take this TCON out and put the other one back in. And I'm going to have to go on eBay. Once upon a time, getting parts for TVs used to be so easy. But I've got to go for version 1. Real pain in the backside. Real pain. Parts used to be so easy for Vestels to get. It was just a model number, screen number, bump. But now version number, never had to bother with the version. Well, if you had a different version, it didn't make any difference. Look how easy this goes in. If I can get my thumb out of the way. Straight in, every time. I'm going to have to go looking for version 0, aren't I? And I know some of you were saying, well, why don't you just swap that three-legged chip over? That three-legged chip would have shorted. The IC would have shorted when it put in. So there's a chance it's damaged the screen. So at the moment, I want to replace a whole new TCON before I move on to the next step. Let's switch on again. Oh, again, no picture. That's weird. I must have forgotten to put something in this time, surely, because we had half a white picture before. Yes. Okay. Some daft idiot forgot to put that in. So this is the original TCON, still with, well, I'm only getting half a white screen. The customer did say he got a full white screen. Oh, we are getting a full white screen. I don't know what that is, but I mean, that is definitely a TCON problem. Definitely a TCON problem. But has the TCON shorted something else out because it was long screwed while on? Unfortunately, that TCON is not giving me the answer. So this shouldn't be as complicated as I'm making it, but I've just got to make sure that I get version 0. See, that says version 2. And the one that I want version 0. If you can see that, I hope you can. Model of the screen is there. But it's never like Vestel to be, if they do an upgrade, a different version. I'm surprised they've changed the sockets on it. I'm going to have to go on eBay and look, aren't I? What a pain.